Let's speak now to Peter Mathews. He's a professor of political science at Cypress College and joins us from Los Angeles. Peter, thank you so much for joining us on the program. The largest ever U.S. financial stimulus package. Trump says it will deliver urgently needed relief to families, workers, and businesses. But as we just heard there from Lionel Donovan, it amounts to about $1,200 for the average American. I don't know about you, but I don't know many people where $1,200 would even get them through a month, especially if they have children. Do you think this will be enough?
Well, I don't think it'll be completely enough, but on the other hand, it's a pretty good beginning. And they'll also be getting unemployment expanded for 4 months, and that'll pay most of their salary. And that's the best part of it. But also the $1,200 will help. And also if a family of two, let's say, with one child, will get $2,400 plus $500 for the child. So this kind of help, it's actually more of a relief bill. It's not a stimulus as such, because people aren't going to go out there and try to buy things. In fact, they're discouraging people from going outside the home in order to shop. You can only go to a grocery store, for example, and you can go there and come right back. You cannot go to bars and restaurants and sit down and eat. You can just pick up the food and take it out. So this is not to stimulate the economy, but it's to actually relieve the pressure of people in people's lives who have to pay their rent, for example.
Right. And also, as far as the unemployment benefits, we know a record number of Americans filed for unemployment this week. What are the long-term ramifications here that we're looking at? Because I know these benefits are being extended, but we don't know how long this is going to last with the pandemic.
We really don't know. And in fact, 3 million people filed for unemployment last week. That's a huge number. It's never been that large before. And it could continue. And there's some predictions by some economists saying there'll be possibly a 20 or 30% unemployment rate before this is over. Unless people start actually abiding fully by the rules and staying at home, avoiding social or keeping social distance of 6 feet when they do come across people when they're going shopping, they have to comply. If Americans comply with this, and it should be done nationwide, state by state is not good enough. Unfortunately, the president's opted for a state-by-state approach. It should be a national policy. And the same thing with the DPA. It should be a national policy where the president puts the DPA into practice, doesn't just invoke it like he did 8 days ago and didn't really apply it. He finally applied it today because GM had to be put to work and pushed to go ahead and get the kind of contract that would work out putting out these ventilators. So he needs to make it a national policy, get the federal government involved in directing it, and look at the German example, the South Korean example. In both those countries, they nipped it in the bud early on, having widespread testing, having the central government involved in the process from the beginning on a nationwide basis. We should have done that, and we should do it now.
Right. You brought up the DPA, the Defense Production Act. This is a Korean War-era law that allows the president to force private industries to create items required for national defense. So how significant is it that Trump is enacting this emergency law?
It's very significant. In fact, he should have enacted it about 9 days ago when he first invoked it. But he was hesitant because some of the critics on the, other people were calling him socialist. Well, his own party said, that's socialism. You can't do that, having the government direct business to do things. And that was the most ridiculous argument, and I think he fell for it for about 9 days. So now the president, I think, has actually become aware that he has to get this done, and today he actually invoked the act and started using it. It's very significant. He has to expand that act and get other things like face masks produced in the millions, actually, would be nice.
Peter Mathews in Los Angeles. Peter, thank you for your time.